All right. Hi, everybody. On another episode of Money Talks, Love Listens with another guest. I'm really excited about our guest today. It's very appropriate since we are deep into holidays in general. So whatever you're celebrating, if you're already in Hanukkah or if you are celebrating Christmas, one, you're either already late or the other one, you got a little bit of time. But I'm really excited about this topic because we're going to get into feminine energy. And I'm really a person that loves to talk about energy as a whole. And I feel a lot of people don't talk about this topic because some of us are just weirded out about it or may not believe in it. But it definitely does work. We are all energy, whatever you believe in, something's out there. So, and if you don't, I don't know why you're watching this. So but our guest today is Shelley Money Eldridge. That is a wonderful name. And I have to ask you, is that your real name? Because
yes, wow. Yeah, I grew up Shelley Money most of my life, and then Eldridge is my married name. Okay. So maiden name, my married name. Yeah.
That is the best name ever. Yeah. I want to change my name. It's so amazing. So I always give the guest, an opportunity to talk about their journey and, what they do, where they came from, and, just kind of their journey into the career that they have. I personally don't like looking people up beforehand because I like to hear, what people have to say. So I know very little about you. So this will be very interesting. So please tell everybody more about what you do, where you're from. I know you're from Rochester, New York. There's good skiing up there. I've been there a couple times. Yeah. So, but yeah, go ahead, Shelley.
Okay. Hi. Well, thank you so much to both of you for welcoming me onto your podcast. And I did check out a couple episodes. So I did kind of go behind the scenes. I was like, this is pretty cool. This is definitely my jam to talk about love and money and relationships. And yes, I did grow up Shelley Money most of my life. And people are like, why would you ever change your name? And I'm like, well, that's what happens, when you get married. But I was married and then I wasn't married. So I keep the last Eldridge part for my sons. I have a 23-year-old son. Okay. So yeah, and I'm actually Canadian. I'm from Canada. I grew up in Hamilton, and I moved to Rochester to go to school for dental hygiene. And I ended up meeting my son's father when I was graduating from school. And I stayed here. I got a job as a dental hygienist. I remember loading all my stuff into my car, praying that I was going to like this. I'm like, how hard can it be? It's just teeth, but yeah, it was pretty challenging because apparently, everything's connected. So so I did that for quite some time. I fell into a direct sales business. So I have actually been a part of a direct sales company for over 20 years, 2 decades. So I've been coaching women for a long time in business, and love and money, of course, are all a part of that. And people can always check me out, on Facebook if you want to find out any more about that. You can always find me. We can always find one another, right?
Yeah. So especially with your name, like, come on.
Yeah. I know. And I love my business, but what I love, my passion really is, I really refer to myself as a feminine energy entrepreneur, because I think we learn so much by contrast. The many years that I have been a part of my company, I've learned the amazing things that I love to do. I love to lead women, but I love this energetic level. Here's if you're coming in at a 7 to 10, like you're hungry, you would love to work, you would love to earn. That's fantastic and easy to work with. If it's down here a little bit more and you're like pulling the weight of people, it's a little bit challenging. So I always pray that people will arrive with a little bit more, at least hungry. When you come to the dinner table, can you be hungry? Because, you're a lot easier to I don't want to say train, but to coach and just to have conversation with. So I after I was married, then I was divorced. I was on the dating scene and just was not working out. All the past kind of catches up with you.
Yeah.
And you learn, like, I don't know what's going on. And I had a friend who recommended a relationship coach to me. She's like, Shelley, I think you should get some advice on some relationship coaching so you stop kissing these frogs. And, let's find one that turns into a prince. And so I began with a relationship coach, and it has been one of the most amazing experiences ever, which created a passion in me to go deeper with women into love. And what I found out is the amazing connection in the energies of love and money and men and clients, and how that all circles together in the same orbit. Like, if you are having a hard time hanging on to money, relationships probably are having some trouble, in there as well.
Yeah.
If it's like eluding you. So I then shifted my relationship coaching into like a business coaching, but it goes back and forth because it's the same energy. So I really feel like I help busy professional women that feel hijacked by the hustle. And,
I love these analogies. These are great.
Yeah. So they're hijacked by the hustle of love and business, and just to help them slow the roll and stop the chase so that they can attract into their life the men, the money, the clients that might feel at arm's reach. Like it's kind of eluding them as a mystery so that they can have the desires they want, because peace and freedom and fun sound a lot better to me than the chase.
Yeah. I love that. That's an amazing story. I love your analogies. It's so easy to digest. I mean, whoever's listening in right now, if you don't get that, I don't know. Can't. Like, it's so easy. But I feel like you hit the nail, head on the nail, as they say. I feel a lot of women are addicted to the chase. And as obviously I am a woman. When I talk about the chase, I mean the relationship chase, but you're not supposed to be the one chasing. Like, I don't know where someone gave women this memo that we should be chasing, but I was like, please stop doing that. It's not helping. And it definitely does goes into business and your career as well. So I can see kind of, ups and downs. People aren't great at managing money, or they're just, kind of doing the same patterns in relationships. When we talk about feminine energy, how do we tap into that energy? First of all, what is that energy? I feel a lot of people have heard that term about feminine energy, but they don't know what it is. And then the second part is, how do we actually tap into that?
Okay, so feminine energy is an essence. I love the word essence. It's an essence. It's a way of being. And I could talk about the masculine energy too, because it's hard to talk about the feminine energy without talking about the masculine energy as well, which they are in the universe. They're out in the universe and in the world, but they're also within us. So we could dive so deep, into that. But if you talk about the feminine energy, that is the energy that is the leaning back energy. It's the responding, trusting, allowing, receiving, creative energy. Like, if you can feel that. The masculine energy is more the forward moving, the initiator, the making of plans, the keeping the ball rolling, the closing of the gap. I can talk about that too, as a tool. So that's in essence what feminine energy is.
Jim, you got that?
That's interesting. I actually have a question right now, though. I mean, that's pretty interesting. So if you have, if the feminine energy is the receiving side, how do you manage and how do you help your clientele who are type A, who are super aggressive, that really want to go out there and go, whether it's in love, finance, or anything?
Yeah, that is such a great question. And I find this in a lot of my clients, especially being in business and helping professional women slow the roll and slow the chase, because the man can be the chaser, I guess. Like, that's in his DNA on that side. And the feminine energy, in no way is it a doormat or a leaning back and just like, I'm just going to wait for, Prince Charming to like ride up on his white horse and save me. Please, no. As a matter of fact, that does fall into a feminine energy characteristic, but there's a difference between an empowered feminine energy and a wounded.
Yeah.
Or a disempowered. So a lot of women that come to me, to my work, and that I work with, they are busy professionals. They have been the one that's been in charge. They have to take charge. I mean, as mothers, a lot of single mothers, we have to get things done. We are masculine in our energy when we're parenting and when we're on the job. But when you're home with your spouse, your partner, your lover, it actually is a conscious decision or movement to get into a leaning back, more feminine energy. And it's not like, okay, I'm in my masculine, okay, I'm in my feminine. Yes, there's an awareness of that, but once a woman learns this, she can begin to dance between the energies. So usually, like a type A woman, I'll just give you an example. In her childhood, perhaps, she had to grow up fast. She was put into a role where maybe she had to take care of her siblings. Maybe she had an emotionally unavailable parent, whether it be they were physically unavailable or emotionally unavailable. So she kind of had to grow up fast and take the reins and realize, like, someone has to be in charge here. And so that carries into the adult life. And you think, well, I just got to like slay the beast and slay the day. If I see one of those banners on anyone's wall, like I'm wielding the sword, that's just not sustainable. It's not sustainable in business, and it doesn't work in love.
Okay, thank you.
Did that answer your question, Jim?
It did.
So no slaying.
No, slay all day, you'll be tired.
I see that like phrase everywhere on like t-shirts, and I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to be slaying? I don't understand.
It just doesn't feel good. Yeah, urgency is not good.
No, I'm too much of a chill person. I don't want to fight. Like, I'm just like, can we just do this? I think, Jim had a great question. It kind of leads to my question about, there are so many women, like, you had said, that are very career driven. I have noticed, just in terms of the women that we have already in our membership and, attend our virtual events, that a lot of them have kind of, I hate using this word, conquered their finances, or their finances are pretty great. Like, they're doing well. Some of them own their own home. They've already had their children, or they want to have children, but like they've come to a place where they're comfortable with their career, but they're not able to find men that are on the same level as them. And this has been a constant theme that we've talked about in a lot of episodes, where it's like trying to find someone that is either on the same mental capacity as you are, or the same financial capacity, where there has to be some similarities. And they keep pulling in just, sorry, anything off the street. Like, I don't know where they're getting these dudes, but like, it's not good. And a lot of it is they're just attracted to, I just want tall, dark, and handsome, which is great. Like, everybody wants tall, dark, and handsome, but George Clooney is not coming at your door. I don't really know where they're getting this from. But, and then I'm like, well, what about this guy? And it's someone that just may not fit that physical mold. And they're like, I don't want that person. But I'm like, no, this guy's a great guy. Like, you can actually have a conversation with him. He can provide, he'll be there. And they're kind of like, no, I'm just not interested in that. What do you say to that particular type of woman? Because I'm seeing this over and over again. I had a client recently say, I just want someone who's just cute. I don't care about anything else. Just find me someone cute. Yes. And I'm like, what am I? Do I have a modeling agency? Like, I don't know what the hell is happening here.
Cute is good, cute is good. Personality is good. Sorry, I don't mean to dip out of the screen there. Here is a way I think to approach this that was such a game changer for me. I was sitting in an airport, and I'll get to the story. It's actually called a love compass or your North Star. So this is like a tool. And I was sitting in an airport with a friend, and I hadn't met my Mr. Wonderful yet, which I've been in a relationship for almost 3 years with a really great guy that found me as a whole story in and of itself. And he was already in my experience. So women, it's amazing how many women I meet that the man that they end up with was already in their experience somehow, some way.
Yeah.
So we'll let that land for a second. But I was in the airport, and my girlfriend said to me, all right, Shelley, like, come on, you are, she was listing nice things about me. You're this, 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 and this. We got to find you a guy. What do you want? I was like, all right. So she pulled out the book. I could show you the book. It's all in her handwriting. And so we put like taller than me, likes to cook, has his own friends, has hobbies. He's funny. So we made these lists of all these characteristics. Cute, handsome was on there. Has to be good to his mother. Has to be available. How about that? Yeah, he has to be available emotionally and like not in another relationship. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, I know. Yes. So we wrote that down, and she's like, okay, like we'll go to work on this. This was before my coaching, and I learned about the love compass. The love compass, being your North Star, actually takes the qualities of what you think, what are outside of you, and bring them within you, so that you are, I think this is the missing piece in relationships, where women can dip into wounded energies when they feel like the qualities of someone else is what is going to make them happy. But if you can cultivate the feelings of how you want to feel in your most ideal relationship, so I would encourage people to pull out their pens and paper and think about this. It's a complete shift from, if I think how I want to feel in a relationship, so I want to feel loved. I want to feel adored. I want to feel secure and safe. I want to feel like a queen. I want to feel spoiled and cherished and true and pampered. Are there more? Like you can think of 10, like this is how I want to feel. And it would not matter what relationship I am in. If he is handsome, if he likes to cook, if he makes money or anything, if I'm in that relationship and I go against my love, up to my love compass, and I say, am I feeling in this space with this person? Do I feel spoiled? Do I feel love? Do I feel trust? If the answer is yes, then I can continue to move forward. If the answer is no, then I move on. This is how women can avoid all of the red flags when they claim like, I don't know, like I didn't see it coming. And maybe you didn't, but with this information, that shift is just a huge impact. Can you feel the difference there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wow. I think you like summed it up in a nutshell, because a lot of women, like we talked about, are very, like you just said, it doesn't matter the aesthetics of a person or their job or what they're bringing in financially. If you're not happy, then I don't really know why you're there. But like, I guess you could say that on a segue way to about business. Like if you're not happy at a job, there are a lot of people right now that are working just to put food on the table and to pay their bills. But there are people who like could easily find a different job, but they keep plugging away at the job that they have, they're unhappy. So I don't know if Jim, obviously that's something that's probably more on your area in terms of finance. What do you say to that? I guess that's my kind of lead-in question.
Thank you. That's a good question. Actually, there are a couple things you said that resonate quite a bit with me. I wrote them down as well. How do you help stop the chase? That's actually something that I bring up with my clientele quite a bit, where they're always trying to find something that may not be achievable. So, I mean, a little bit about me is I'm a vice president from a private wealth management firm called THG. We're in the western suburbs of Chicago, and our main focus is to help individuals and small to mid-sized business owners, and a lot of them are women. And what I like to do is I like to learn more about how I can help in other capacities. So the second thing you said, or you asked when you ask your clients, is how do you feel? One of the questions I ask everyone I meet is my statement is I want to make you feel better. I want to make sure that you're feeling better with your plans. I mean, mine's all about the financial side of it. And what I want to do is I want to make sure everyone has a good experience with this planning. And then the third thing you said that I completely love is, feminine energy and masculine energy is, the push and the pull, but a lot of it is just transfer of enthusiasm. One of the things that we do in our office is we want to make sure we make someone feel in a better way. We want to help someone focus on not going after that chase or running after something that's not achievable, and then transferring enthusiasm. So I loved what you said. Thank you. So, but with planning and business on that side, it's interesting. I'm coming across a lot of women that are the heads of the household, where they're the main breadwinners, and they are the ones that initiated coming in to talk about their financial planning, their insurance, their executive planning, their estate planning, the whole 9 yards. So, what tips would you have for families or couples on how to manage that, where there is a definite shift in who's the pusher and the puller with the feminine and the masculine energy?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, because money is and money issues are the leading cause of lots of issues,
Yeah.
right? So money is an important topic to bring up, and money is energy. And how you hear people say, oh, money just brings out the worst in people, or if people have more money, no, money is just energy. Like if you were a generous person before money,
Yeah.
if money comes to you, you're still going to be a generous person.
Yeah.
If you're an ass before money, chances are that's going to show up if more money comes into your life.
I agree.
So it's managing that energy. And I applaud the women that come in to see you and talk about their finances, and especially with their husband. And I think like with the feminine and masculine energies within a woman, if she's a single woman, leading her own household, that's the masculine part of her personality. If you think of the queen, like the queen is, I'm not letting anyone come into this queendom, with my kids, I'm protecting my kids and my relationship. She has to bring in that king energy that says, yeah, we are going to do this together. We're going to secure the finances together and, build a prosperous life, for ourselves. So I commend the women that want to figure that out. And I think it's really important. Women shouldn't be ashamed of making money and keeping it. And the guy that she's with, if they can elevate together, like they say, the man could be the head of the household, but the woman is the neck that turns the head, kind of thing. If they can work together, that is like a dream situation, but it takes a lot of conversation. It takes a lot of understanding. And I think you can probably help facilitate a lot of that, Jim. And in my organization, working with women who, want to come in and start a business. And again, I'm not here to talk about that business, but it is love and relationships and money. But one of the teachings is for a woman to be able to stand on her own 2 feet with her finances. Because if something were to happen to the man, or she is left single, and there are a lot of single moms out there and single working women that to be able to take care of herself is her raising her masculine energy within her. Because if your foundation and your masculine energy isn't strong, your light can't shine. Like if you think of it like a lighthouse, like that base of strength, if you have that in place and you can work on your finances, you are free to up here to shine your light and attract in the clients and the relationships that you so desire to have. And that's actually really attractive to men, empowered men. And yeah, and not when the women are not talking about, look at all the money I make and all of my accolades. No, that would not be leaning back. But just, I think it's a confident woman that is not a damsel in distress is very attractive to an empowered man.
Yeah. That was good. Well said.
I was gonna say, so you're saying this is why men are attracted to J-Lo? It's not her amazing body, it's her like $500 million net worth.
I'm attracted to J-Lo.
I know, we all are.
She's fancy. She's so fancy.
Yes. Jim, do you have anything else to ask Shelley?
I mean, there are a lot of things I could ask Shelley. I know we're running a little bit out of time, but this was really good. I mean, I really appreciate your feedback, and this is something I think that is going to help a lot of people, especially in this day and age, and especially in my business, our business. Like I said, we come across a lot of people in that capacity, and it's really refreshing to hear your perspective.
Thank you so much.
Well, I see a lot of likes. I can see the heart. So there are a lot, and people have been jumping in and out to watch. So I think a lot of what you said, Shelley, has resonated with a lot of people, especially women, just because we are a lot of times the head of the household and the breadwinner. Mm-hmm. The only thing I would ask for my like kind of last question really quickly is, have you noticed that there's, I guess what part of energy, whether it's feminine or male, is the saver? Because I am a complete worrywart. I think that every day is going to be like, every year is going to be like Corona. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, what are we going to do? I was like, what's wrong with you? So I was financially, I had a little cushion when the pandemic hit because I am a crazy worrywart, and I think like we're all gonna go broke. So I am incredibly cheap for those people that know me. Like, you don't go shopping with me. I'm not a good person to go anywhere with that. I will try to barter, ask for a coupon because I'm just incredibly cheap. But I always have been just from my own family, like save, like just that's always been harped in me. My partner, on the other hand, I'm pretty sure doesn't even have a savings account. Like, I know he doesn't have it. And I have like 3 because I'm paranoid that something's going to happen. But is that just because I'm a woman and I'm worrying all the time? Or does that have anything to do with it? I guess is my question.
Great question, especially during this time. And I it's normal to worry. I think that all people have some level of concern. It's what you do with that level, and what level does it get to? Yeah. And you're not cheap, you're frugal.
I don't know. I'm really forgetting.
Yeah. So it's what you do with that. And I think that relates to jobs too. When people are going into jobs and they're not liking their jobs, or they're worrying like, what if it was all gone tomorrow? Yeah. So what if it was all gone tomorrow? Like, what would you do? And I think if a person can learn to cultivate the feelings, and this again is a conscious thing that you could do through meditation, I'm not sure if you've heard of pray, rain, journaling. It is conscious things. And I can tell you if you want, it's conscious things to cultivate the feelings within yourself of safety and security, that other things may leave, but you will never leave yourself. Right. Like, what would you dream that your most empowered parent, whether they existed or not, your most empowered parent would say to you? Babe, I got you. Right? Or you're going to say,
I was going to say it's going to be okay. Like, just, you'll figure it out. It's going to be okay. Like, don't freak out.
Yeah.
And that is really a conscious thing to, even if you lay in your bed in the morning and eyes closed and use your breath work and don't get out of bed until you have cultivated those feelings of safety and security, that rolls out a completely different day than, hitting the ground in a frenzy.
Right.
Because times are uncertain, and people will be flitting about. They may or may not have a bank account, or they may be in your business today, or they may be leaving tomorrow, but you are okay within yourself. And meditation, prayer and journaling, breath work, and prayer and journaling is just writing down something in your life as if it has already happened. Like, oh my gosh, I seriously can't believe this happened today. I have been, waiting for this to happen. I woke up and I have $10,000 in my bank account. I've been, the man of my dreams has shown up. I could dive deeper into that. It's definitely another tool I love to talk about, but it helps cultivate those feelings, which I think is essential for the worrier. You can't be your own damsel.
Right.
It brings up like those child feelings, right? So think about what the most empowered person would say to you. I've got you.
Yeah. This is a great point. I just, when you said that, I was like, I think Jim Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check years ago when he was completely broke, had nothing, and his first big movie, he made $10 million. So it took a little bit, but I mean, most people would be like, that's ridiculous, but it's not. I definitely believe in the power of thought, but definitely even the power of what you write, because hopefully you'll put that plan into action. So we are out of time, but Shelley, please let everybody know where they can contact you, where, if they're looking for coaching services, whether it's love or money, and tapping into that feminine energy, where they can get a hold of you.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank both of you for having me on. You're just such a pleasure. And I loved how we got connected. Networking is just a beautiful thing. Yeah. And you can find me on Facebook under Shelley Money Eldridge. You can also email me at shelleymoneycoaching@gmail.com. And I would say to your guests, if anyone is curious, they can certainly email me, and I would be happy to offer even a 20-minute chat. I could send them a link to my calendar. If you are curious about love, business, how that all ties together, and to slow the roll and stop the chase so you can attract into your life what you most want, I would love to do that.
Wonderful. Well, you guys heard it here. If you want to talk to Shelley Money Eldridge, which is the best name ever, she's available to give you a 20-minute consultation. So take advantage of that. Jim, do you have any closing thoughts before we end?
No, I think this is going to be so valuable for other people. So this is one of my favorite ones I've had so far. So I appreciate your feedback on that.
Awesome.
Makes me feel great. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I want to thank my co-host, Jim. If you have any financial needs, make sure to message him. He is tagged in all of the posts, as well as those that are going to be watching on YouTube. And again, if you would like to know more about your feminine energy, please make sure to message Shelley Money Eldridge and get a hold of her and take advantage of that 20-minute consultation. I am Gwen Washington. I am the founder of Love Talk. If you guys are single and want to be matched, our goal is still the same. We are trying to match 100 singles in Florida by the end of 2021. We will be going into face-to-face dates as soon as it's safe. For now, we are still in virtual, and I am very pleased to announce 2 new hirees, which if you attend the virtual events, you will notice there is a different host. It's not me anymore, but the lovely Kate, who is from Alabama, and a new matchmaker, Derek, will be joining us for the first quarter of starting in the first quarter in 2021. So if you have any questions, just remember to message me either on Facebook, Instagram, at my Love Talk. It's pretty simple. But again, thank you, Shelley, and thank you, Jim, for this episode. As always, like I say, please be kind, because that is the one thing we can control in this whole pandemic. So thank you guys. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.